everybody. Welcome to another episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I am your host, Barry, and with me, as always, or for the most part, always, it's Swan. Hi, Swan.
Hello.
I think I might have added a D at the end of your name there, Swan, implying that you were a past tense Swan.
Previously on
You just got swanned. It's a cop drama.
It's just me taking a whole baseball bat covered in feathers and just slapping people.
That's so deceptive. Maybe it'll be soft. Maybe I'm just going to break all my teeth. Oh, goodness. Well, welcome anybody who is a first-time listener to the show. We appreciate you guys stopping in. If you have not yet, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Is that what the kids are saying these days?
Yeah.
I'm not even 30 yet. What am I doing? Now, please consider subscribing to the show. New episodes come out every Wednesday. And if you would be so kind as to leave a rating and a review, preferably 5 stars. You can do that right in app. And we actually read out reviews of the show here on air. And we'll do one of those later on.
Yeah, if you can give that Jim Beam bourbon 8 stars, you can definitely give us 5.
Is that actually a Jim Beam product?
I think so. I think it's Beam's 8 stars.
I know it's Beam, but I mean, it might not be from Jim Beam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's so many.
I'll take Benchmark any day.
I just Googled. This is a very funny review from the Whiskey Junk. I just Googled Beam's 8 star. And it's a really, really bad review. They gave it a 25 out of 100. I'm sorry. We'll get to the episode in a minute, but this is a really, really good stuff. Nose, grits, sourness, boiled peanuts, rubbing alcohol. Taste, Everclear 7-Up, dried corn, dried wood, alcohol. Finish, short. Toothpicks, Everclear, dried corn, and 7-Up.
Wow.
It is actually made by Jim Beam. 75% neutral grain spirits and 25% straight whiskey. Oof. He got it for $3 for a 200 ml. But the overall is one of my favorite things I've ever read. Complex, interesting, nuanced, delicate, and tasty. These are not words that could ever be associated with Beam's 8-star blended Kentucky whiskey. Woo! It's all manner of weird, but not in a good way. Fair enough. Okay, well that's our tangent for the the episode, finding out how some people really feel about Beam's 8-star.
Yikes!
I do like the zig when we thought they were gonna zag there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, we normally start the show out with Flying Blind, and that's what we're doing this week. Swan, you don't know what's in the glass.
No clue. I'm clueless as usual.
So let's dive into it. Why don't we? Nice and sweet.
It is pretty sweet.
Kind of syrupy.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's kind of like a honey syrupy thing.
Yeah. Little bit of an alcohol burn, but not too much. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Nice and caramelly.
Mm-hmm. Little bready. It's nice. I'm not getting any barrel spice or anything.
It's good though.
That's just solid.
Yeah.
Just good.
Well, it's Larceny Small Batch.
That would explain it.
92 proof wheated bourbon from Heaven Hill.
Wonderfully non-offensive and tasty.
I wanted to prep our palates for all these Maker's Mark bottles that we have.
Yeah, the so-called Maker's Killer.
Yeah. But we'll kind of put that to the test. But we are going to be reviewing Maker's 46 Cask Strength at the end of the episode.
I'm so excited.
So stick around for that. But in the meantime, we're going to be tasting through the rest of the Maker's line, except for the Private Select. I didn't have any Private Select on hand.
I almost brought the last little bit of my Keeneland pick.
Should have. You can still get some at the Mercantile.
Yeah, I walked by there the other day, I looked in and I was like, it's there.
It's there. But it's got the new label on it, though.
I don't care.
I mean,
I
don't either. I kind of like the old label. I miss it.
I mean, I do too. If I'm being honest, I do think the old one looked a little better, but they do have all the stave info on the front now, right?
That is true.
Which
That
is
is true.
nice. So functionality-wise and give me the info I want, it's there. I'm just going to drink it. Every time I get one of those, it's just gone.
I am picturing you just being emotionally distraught with the bottle sitting in your house. You're just going, I really want to drink it, but that bottle is just not as good looking as it used to be. But I really want to drink it, but it's just not as good. Accurate?
Yep, that's what happens every night. Every night.
You should hear what he has to say about Rebel Yell.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Let's move on to what we've been drinking recently. Swan, have you been drinking anything recently?
I have, yeah. I've actually been drinking a lot of that MB Roland.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Has it opened up at all?
It's opened up quite a bit, so it's a little corny still. You can tell it's on the younger side. But that being said, like, it's got a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's definitely, for some older picks, if they ever decided to do it, they've got a lot of potential. Now, the thing that kills me is I went to Total Wine today, and I was looking at some of the other MB Roland products.
Right.
That single barrel bourbon that I picked up is like a 2-ish year, and I was like, it's a little underwhelming. Price is a little up there, but they did a pick. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they found something special. I started looking through the rest of their products. They make everything. They've got like strawberry lemonade, MB Roland. They've got like dark fired wheat whiskey, corn whiskey.
So bizarre.
It's just like it's like the fancy brunettes of the whiskey industry. Now, I mean, it's strange.
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, some of their products actually look really good. Not in the context of like I want to put it in a nosing glass and get into it,
Sure.
but more in like I would mix that half and half with Sprite and go nuts. Like, I mean, you know?
Go nuts.
So, I mean, I can't be mad. I want to try some more of their stuff, especially the dark fired that they put out or the wheat whiskey.
Yeah, and people really clamor over the Roland products. So I don't know if I just haven't had the right one or if I'm missing something, but I am interested in trying more of what they do.
I will say, going back to the labels on the single barrel bourbon look nice. They're fine. They're not great, but they're fine.
Yeah.
They took that exact logo and just changed the hue on the back of it
absolutely.
to whatever is in the bottle.
Absolutely.
And so it's just like, this looks terrible on like pink lemonade. Like, what did they do? They just took the label, made it pink. Like, it looks weird. Like, it's not appetizing for somebody that's going in thinking, pink lemonade.
I love some pink lemonade right now.
Yeah. I don't know. It's definitely worth trying. Maybe grab a pick or get it at a bar before you dump $50 on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely be interested in trying some more of their stuff. Inspired by last week's interesting blending episode that we did, where we tried blending some Armagnacs with bourbons.
Yeah.
I did the same with a red wine.
How'd it go?
Not bad. It did exactly what finishing bourbon and red wine barrels does.
Maybe just a little brighter because it's actually mixed.
Yeah, exactly. Smoothed it out and everything. Ugh, we're passing bottles back and forth. Sorry.
We might have to do a full episode on that.
I really want to. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. And you know, maybe not just red wines. I'd like to do like a Chardonnay as well with it, since that's already an oaked product.
Mm-hmm.
You know, reintroducing it with another oaked product.
Let's get weird. Let's just start mixing it with Prosecco. Bubbly bourbon.
Oh my gosh, I am so down for that.
Yeah, bubbly bourbon. Let's do it.
The bubbly bourbon episode. Bubbly bourbon boys.
There's gonna be so many burps you gotta cut out. Like, it's just gonna be bad.
Oh no. So we did just pour, as we're going to be talking about some of the news, just the standard Maker's Mark 90 proof.
I have never bought a bottle of this. I've been given one, but I've never actually bought one.
It's been a long time since I've bought one. It's just not really a staple on my bar or in my house anymore. As we've talked about many times on the show, this was my dad's go-to bourbon for a long time, until really I started introducing him to other brands. And then he just was like, oh, Elijah Craig's really good. Buffalo Trace is really good. And just kind of stacking them up against each other, and found out that Maker's isn't it's not all it's cracked up to be.
No. And I've actually saved a little of the larceny.
You did. How do you feel about it nose to nose?
Nose, I actually like the makers better.
Interesting.
I feel like it's got more to offer. It's a little stronger. It's definitely more of a I'm going to put some hair on your chest style whiskey.
Yeah, it definitely is.
If I'm just going with like flavors, this one's got some like cookies, like a sugar cookie note in it that the other one didn't. It's definitely picked a lane. I will say that. Larceny's it's hitting different points of the flavor wheel.
Wow, it's been a long time since I've had regular makers. Oh my gosh. Hey, that ain't half bad.
It's not. It's not bad at all.
Would you drink this over larceny now? Having had them back to back?
No, because there's a note right before the finish hits that gets a little corny.
I actually am rating that, I think, as a little bit medicinal.
Yes.
But I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I will say this is much more syrupy. Even though we mentioned kind of a syrupy note on the larceny, this one's oily.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like it's got some extra age on it or something, and I appreciate that. But that like medicinal, corny note that we're kind of hinting at doesn't read well with oily.
Yeah.
It just comes off as cough syrup. It's not bad, though. I enjoy the flavor profile more on this one, but there's just parts of it that I don't care for as it transitions.
I agree. Either way, it's a great product to start out with. And I'm really looking forward to trying the rest of these as well.
Yeah.
Once we dive in.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind. I'm ready for like sitting on the porch weather that you're not just sweating. So yes. I want this, a little bit of orange liqueur and some ale just all together, man.
Yes, please. It's my take on the Keeneland Breeze.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. All about it. Well, I guess we should probably get into the news while we're also sipping on our makers.
I'm going to fess up. Usually we read this just a little bit, kind of dive into it a little bit before each episode. Today was not that day.
Today was not that day. We have been having a lot of things going on in our lives, and I didn't get the chance to really sit down with all the news, but
there's just so much of it you can't ignore.
There's
it.
A lot.
Like there's so much good stuff.
There's a lot. So we are going to kind of touch on a few things that we really can't ignore. The first one being the new distillery that is going to be in Bullitt County here in Kentucky. It's going to be the Claremont Distilling Company. This is a big project that's coming to Kentucky. And one that Swan and I have kind of been talking about throughout the week a little bit, but it's pretty intense. Lee Wilburn is going to be the founder of the company. They are looking to produce 50,000 barrels a year.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So they are not joking around. This is really interesting, too. It's actually going to create 22 new full-time jobs. They're going to be paying $56 an hour for their full-time
Sign
employees.
Me up.
I'll drive to Bullitt County.
Let's go. But good for them, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be next to the Bullitt County Fairgrounds off I-65 here in Kentucky. And I'm pretty excited about this. I'm always excited to see what new distilleries are going to be like once they come to the bluegrass.
Yeah, so are they doing any sort of blending and putting out products at all right now, or are they waiting until the distillery's up and going to put out anything?
Doesn't really say. I think they're probably just taking the time to get it all set and ready to go.
With that amount of barrels, I'm curious to see if they keep it all in-house and age it, or if they're going to actually send it out and do some contract distilling.
They might. They very well might. But either way, new distillery coming, and that's exciting.
Yeah.
We also have news on the Four Roses limited edition small batch for 2020. It's going to be 111.4 proof. It's going to include. I'm really excited for these these recipes that are getting thrown in here. Mm-hmm. A 12-year-old OBSV, a 12-year-old OESV. A 16-year-old OESK and a 19-year-old OBSK. That's so exciting.
The last one's almost old enough to drink, man.
He can vote.
He can vote. That's right. Join the
go to war.
military.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. So I reached out to Four Roses. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get a sample of it to review on the show this year, but we'll see what we can do. Try to grab another bottle if we can. I still got to find the old Forester birthday bourbon.
Yeah, I've been working on that. I was doing that today. I was driving around. Nothing.
Yeah, that probably won't come out until next month. Oh, well, I guess this episode comes out on the 2nd day of September. So
yeah, this date of release theoretically.
yeah, we're recording on Monday. So next month for us, this month for you, the future listeners. Current listeners? I don't know. I'm excited about this one. I like the prospect of there being that older bourbon in there. I can't remember for sure. Was there a 20-year-old that went into the last?
A 21-year-old
Yeah.
that went in last year.
Yeah, so that's pretty exciting to see that Burn Elliott's still maintaining some of that older product, maybe giving people that more oakier flavor profile too. Maybe it's balancing out some of the sweetness or something on this. So still really cool. I'm really excited for it. It is going to be $150. Yeah, it's going to be released in September. And there's going to be, according to Whiskey Advocate, approximately 14,040 bottles. Or maybe that's exact. I don't know, man.
That's up a little bit from previous years. They've been doing about 12.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because when the one I got was bottle 12 out of like 12,600 or something from 2017.
Gotcha. That bottle no longer exists.
No, it's gone. It's very gone.
Yeah. Blanton Straight from the Barrel is actually coming to the UK for the first time.
The
Or
UK?
the U.S. Sorry. Woo. I read Kentucky as I was saying the U.S. and it came out U.K.
It's coming specifically to the University of Kentucky.
No, it's coming to the United States for the first time ever. It's going to be $150. The proof hasn't really been revealed, but of course it will be barrel proof and it's going to be limited. This is going to be another release that is similar to the Blanton's Gold that Buffalo Trace is also doing, where it's coming out once a year. It's going to be in limited releases. But I just think it's nice that this is actually coming to the States finally. It's really cool to see that Buffalo Trace and the company that owns Blanton's, the label itself, have listened to people and they've said, yeah, we'll put this out. I mean, it's country of origin, which seems ideal, but it's taken a very long time for that to even happen.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of strange. It's like you had to incentivize the company to stop shipping it overseas to make even more money than they do when they ship it overseas. Like, it's just, I don't know. But, I mean, good for them. I'm glad it'll be on shelves. I'm also glad there's a chance that you can find it without having a friend from Australia. I mean, that's just, it's just rough for most people.
Might still be cheaper for the Australian friends to grab that for you.
Yeah.
Hey, we did also mention last week that there's going to be a new Bardstown Bourbon Company Orange Curacao finished bourbon. I don't think we really went into the details on it, though. Whiskey Advocate does have the deets. So it's going to be 100 proof, $125 a bottle. And there's only going to be 3,000 bottles available.
Ooh, that's one of the smaller releases they've done.
Yeah. 9 months old, 9 months old, 9 years old. Bourbon.
A little better. A little more excited now.
A little bit. And then finished for 18 months in the Orange Curacao barrels. Man, reading's good. Reading's real good on my end.
Mm-hmm. I like that they come out with so many releases.
Yeah.
Like, normally that's kind of annoying to me. But, like, with theirs, they do such a good job with the packaging.
Yeah.
Switching up the labels. I mean, it's nice. I'm excited to see what they do next. Maybe they'll hop on the Armagnac train.
Ooh.
Or
Wait,
they already
they've got
did.
one.
They already did. Yeah, never mind.
We talked about that last
Do
week.
it again. Put it in
Do a
cognac.
different one.
I don't know.
Who's to say, man? Come on.
Yeah.
Pinhook also has a new bourbon out.
Shocker.
The Bohemian.
Remember when I said some of them irritate me?
Oh, man. Swan's salty this week. Salty Swan. What's
Go
happening?
ahead. Let's
Are
hear
you
about
okay,
it.
man?
Nope. Let's go.
Oh, goodness. It's the Bohemian Bourbon. It's going to be 115 proof, $38, and it's only going to be available in 25 states as well as online. This is another bourbon that they had made from a mash bill that was crafted at Castle and Key, 75% corn, 15% rye, and 10% malted barley.
Didn't they already put out a Bohemian Bourbon?
Yeah, this is the next one.
All right.
How do you feel about it, Swan?
Yay.
You look like you're about to bash your head through my garage door.
Like, I just don't get it. Like, they're putting out so many products. I guess I'm just so used to distilleries, and I guess it really isn't a dig on them. They're keeping it all under one label. But Heaven Hill puts out a bunch of different products.
Yeah.
They all have different names.
Yeah.
It's not just Pinhook Bourbon, whatever.
I will say it does get confusing if you've got somebody going, hey, have you tried the new Pinhook? Because then you go, which one?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, and to be fair, I'll give them credit for this. They did just put out on social media a guide to each of the different releases.
Okay, but I don't have to have, like, a key every time I walk into a liquor store.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that there is clarity that exists.
Yeah.
So if somebody does get confused as to, like, for example, this is an orange label, orange wax with the circles. Like, there's a specific denomination. Numeration? I don't know. You can tell what it is based on this key. So they put thought into it.
Yeah, no, like I said, I don't doubt that. But, like, I'm also used to, like, Heaven Hill. They're like, we've got 5 bottled in bonds. Let's go ahead and kind of divvy it up and make them under different names, and then we'll put them out, and there'll be different flavor profiles and this and that. And with theirs, it's Pinhook Bourbon blank.
Well, fair enough. I can't totally disagree with you.
Maybe I just need to get used to it. I need to just figure it out. Because I thought they even already had one with orange wax.
I think they do. I don't know, man. I'm just telling you about it.
Yeah.
I'm the news bearer.
It's just too much for me. My little swan brain can't handle it, man. I just can't do it.
Can you handle a 15-year-old bourbon from 3 Chord?
Absolutely.
Can you handle the price tag of $190?
Not personally. I've actually not had too much of 3 Chord. I had 1 pour of it at Liquor Barn at their tasting bar, and actually really liked it. It was I think it was a 12-year-old that they had, and it was pretty good.
Can you handle a proof point of 117.9?
Yes. Yes. Gladly.
What
and
about
at 8 a.m. in the morning while I'm waiting for a bourbon release.
What about under 2,500 bottles being released?
I mean, yeah, sure. At the price point, I think it's not like...
I'm just going to frame the rest of the episode asking you before we get into anything. Do you think you can handle this? Can you do this?
No, I can't
You got
handle
this,
it.
Swan? Can you handle it?
I'm going to lose it, Perry. I don't know. I feel like every bourbon drinker thinks the way that I do with some of these things, but they're just like, I'll just never see it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not very bad. I'm getting physically mad.
You see them constantly.
Yeah, I do.
You are still, to some degree, Swan the Bourbon Finder.
Yeah, I mean, I do see them quite a bit. Like, I saw Cornerstone today, just hanging out on somebody's shelf.
Right. I felt for a second like I broke you.
Yeah.
And I got really worried.
But, I mean, I vocalize it on the podcast, but I don't go into, like, Liquor Barn, point at it, and go, do you see this? Everyone, look at this. Do you see this? You should be mad about this, too. Like, just got, like, 4 pin hooks in a row, and I'm just like, nuh-uh.
You're Swan the Bourbon Crier.
Yeah.
I thought we banned him from the store. No, he's back again. You've got a bell and you're ringing it. Pinhook's got a new release. Bring out your dead bottles.
Oh, man. Are you excited about this one?
I am pretty excited about it. I, of course, am not crazy about the price point on this, but, and by the way, if anybody's lost the thread, we're still talking about the 3 Chord 15-year-old that's coming out in September. What I am excited about is that we are going to be having the folks from 3 Chord on the show sometime in the near future. That will include musician and husband of Pat Benatar, Neil Giraldo,
Nice.
which I'm really pumped for.
And if they bring that to try, it might be like some of the other ones I've had where it's like immediately justified. Like the Heaven Hill 27, absolutely not. But the, what was it? The Old Carter, the American whiskey that they had. Whew, that thing. After we fought with that sample bottle for at least 30 minutes to get it open.
30 minutes. Try like 6 months.
Yeah.
That was the most difficult sample bottle. By the way, love you, Mark and Sherry. But like, I really, really struggled to get that sample bottle open. Mm-hmm. And by the time I finally did, I think I jumped for joy.
Yeah. But that thing was amazing. You know, had I really been like, I just got a bonus at work, I would have splurged on it. It was good. And it might be the same with this.
Well, how about this? We drink a little bit of Maker's 46.
Oh, okay.
Just the regular one
All
right
right.
now, not the cask strength. We're going to get to that, though. Well, how about this, too?
How do you feel about this, Swan?
King of segues this week. Let's go. Barrel Batch 25. It's a blend of straight bourbons from Kentucky, Indiana, and Tennessee, non-age stated. 56.7%. What is that? Let me do some quick math. 113.4 proof. Limited August of this year. 5 and 9-year-old wheated bourbons. Oh, wow. With the 13 and 15-year-old corn forward bourbons, along with some 9-year-old high rye bourbon. Dang.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I've decided when I go to OBC now that barrel bourbon's like on my top for like, I'm going to try this.
Yeah.
Because their bottles are pricey, but I know that if I try one and it's just outlandishly good, I can go find it because
Right.
they're available. They're on the shelf, and some of them are freaking good, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind splurging on an $80 bottle to get it.
That was a strange noise.
It was, but I think it's worth it. Definitely try it at a bar because every release is wildly different. This is 25.
Yes.
Man, they put them out quick.
Remember that store we went into a couple weeks ago? Yeah. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah.
Michter's US 1 Toasted Barrel Finished Rye, the 2020 release. It's going to be coming out in September as well. Non-age stated, $85. And barrel proof at 109.2. I'm doing this math real quick in my head.
So good.
I'm so good at it. This whiskey initially matured in new charred oak barrels, but then was finished in barrels made of 24-month air-dried oak, toasted to custom specifications. This is something that we've been talking about a lot recently, these toasted barrel releases.
Yeah, we've been more and more interested in them since Elijah Craig was just like, yeah, we can do this.
And we can
Already
do it
existed.
exceptionally well.
Already existed, but now that we're doing it, now you care about it.
There you go. There you go. I will be looking out for this, I think. Regardless. Pretty exciting. Rossville Union has a new single barrel bottled and bond rye. MGP rye, not age stated, $50 a bottle, limited edition. I'm kind of excited about this.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the Rossville Union that we got to try at Bourbon on the Banks.
Uh-huh.
But that was their very standard release. So I think add some proof points to it, and limited edition hopefully means, we trying to get a little different. I'm excited about it.
For sure. Blade and Bow 22-year-old. 92 proof. 22 years old, of course. Do you have okay, I'm going to give you have you seen the price tag on this at all?
Is it like $250?
Oh, you were under, my friend.
Oh, what is it?
$450.
$450? I've actually seen a bottle of this for sale.
Oh, the 22-year-old.
The 22-year-old.
Really?
Yeah, so it went quick, but we were at a Total Wine release, and I got called pretty fast in the lineup and ended up getting into that little room. And, of course, you walk in, and it's like every limited release for the entire year is sitting there. And they had 2 bottles of this. And I went for the Booker's 30th over it.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Good call, I think. It is a big price jump from last year, though. It's a 50% price increase from $300 to $450.
Yikes.
It's a lot more money, man.
It is, for no extra years.
No.
Um,
I mean, I guess they're trying to capitalize on the fact that they don't have a whole lot of this in stock. I mean, it's not like they could just, go out and find barrels of 22-year-old bourbon.
yeah, and I mean, 22 years ago, they didn't know. Maybe we should put some more of this back.
Yeah, true. Very true. Just a few TTB releases this week as well. The new Parker's Heritage has been revealed. Oh, man, I'm excited for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy Char barrels.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be bourbon this time instead of rye. 10 years old, 120 proof, according to the label as of now. I'm sure that might change just a little bit. But
They have a lot to live up to after that last release.
yeah, they really do.
Mm-hmm.
They really do. And it's 10 years old. Did I mention it was 10 years old? I think I did.
I think
but
so, yeah.
That's exciting, man. I'm definitely going to be reaching out to Heaven Hill to get another sample.
Yeah, as you should. As you should. And I would love to see if we can... I mean, Chad's got a bottle. We could probably compare.
Oh, I finished my sample a long time ago, so we would have to ask for...
Yeah, but I would love to compare and see what it does. Like, just get like a 10-ish year. Or we could do... we could get... what is it? Henry McKenna. 10-year. Try it against that, and then for the rye, just find something like I don't know. We'll find some rye that's comparable-ish. That's not like super heavy.
Pikesville?
Yeah, we'll do Pikesville. Just try it all out. See how that heavy char affects it.
Templeton Rye. This is a really interesting one.
I saw one today I'd never heard of before.
Well, you definitely never heard of this one. Toppling Imperial Stout finish.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, it's different.
98 proof. Yeah, that's about all we have on this one. Okay.
I didn't know they had a Templeton Rye cask strength. I saw that today.
Really?
Yeah, on the shelf.
Interesting. Wonder if it's any good.
One way to find out.
Only one way indeed. There are also two new products coming from Jefferson's. They are both straight rye whiskey finished in cognac casks, but one is a single barrel, while the other one is just a batch. It looks like both of them are going to be at 94 proof, though, unless that's going to actually change here soon. But who's to say? I mean, that's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting to see that happening. Either way, though, that's all the news and releases for the week. I'm ready to get into more of this Makers and start talking about it.
Yeah. So what's your feeling on Makers 46?
I like Makers 46 more than the regular Makers. What about you?
I disagree.
Really?
Actually, I have bought 2 of these bottles and both times got halfway through it and given it away.
Interesting.
I don't like it.
What is it?
It's something weird where it gets into like kind of a coffee note that's kind of...
oh, yeah.
But so if I have any coffee at all, it's black. Like I can eat coffee beans. I can have black coffee. I like it as strong as I can get it. Don't dilute it with milk. I'm just not a fan of milk at all. And so this is like... It's like an iced mocha kind of thing going on the palate.
I get that.
I can't do it, man.
Yeah.
I can't. And it's just it's not good. And that's purely me, just a dislike of coffee. But it is strong. It's definitely strong. I'm hoping though, with the proof on this, it's going to be a little more in my wheelhouse.
Yeah. I wanted us to also taste the cask strength. The regular cask strength Makers.
Now this one, I like this one.
I love this bourbon. I really do. I was always very surprised by how good this was. And, the first couple times that I tried it, I think it was back when I wasn't really accustomed to higher proof bourbons.
Mm-hmm.
And it knocked me out. I mean, it stood me up, punched me, and then picked me back up and knocked me out again. I was just not ready for it, but I've come to really like this one.
I have not actually bought a bottle of this before.
I don't think I have either. I think this was gifted.
Oh my gosh!
Oh wait, sorry, we're talking about the cask strength. I bought a bottle of the cask strength before.
Apologies.
Oh yeah, namely the one that's sitting on the table.
True. This is so much better. I don't know. Something about the 46 staves just isn't my thing.
You might not like the cask strength then. I mean, there is a chance that you're just not going to be a fan of it.
Yeah, that's fine. But I mean, I don't know. I'm picky with drinks. I don't like milk. I don't like coffee. I don't like tea. Hot chocolate's okay sometimes. I mean, I pretty much drink water, juice, and like Coke Zero. That's about it. That's all I ever have. And Orange Crush. That stuff's awesome.
Water, bourbon, and occasionally ale 8. And beer. But not as much beer as I used to.
Yeah.
We just watched the episode of Parks and Rec. It was like the beginning of season 6, which is right when Chris Pratt lost all his weight for Guardians. And Ben asks him, so you just stopped drinking beer?
I remember that scene perfectly. They're walking up the stairs.
Yeah.
So you just stopped drinking beer and this happened? He's like, yeah, it was great.
How much beer were you drinking?
Yeah.
You just had a sip of it.
It's so good. It is so good. I need more weeders to kind of jump into this category.
You know, someday we need to do... I think a weird noise just came out of my mouth. I apologize. We need to do this against Larceny Barrel Proof, against Weller Full Proof, against what? Rebel Barrel Proof single barrel that they have?
Yeah. But that's the thing, is like, you listed 4 things that are in that. I can't come up with much else other than craft that puts things out in that category of relatively high proof weeders. And 2 of them you're not going to find.
True. Could we throw a Wilderness Trail?
True. Okay. Yeah, I know that one's
single
good.
barrel weeders.
Mm-hmm.
We could definitely throw in with that as well. I will say this does drink really hot up front.
I'm fine with it, though. Personally, I like that.
Being from somebody who likes to make their own salsa,
Yeah.
that'll punch you in the face.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
That was a Patreon pregame.
Yeah, just a little punch in the face. Just a small little one. Just, yeah. There you go.
Tiny punch.
Yeah. It's like a toddler just giving it its all into your shin. It's still not like the worst thing in the world.
Toddler. What are you hanging around toddlers for? We're to the point that you're pissing them off so much that they kick you in the shin, Swan.
I don't. They're just mean, man. That's why I can't have kids. Like, if they just punch me, I'm like, oh, God.
What are you going to do around my toddler?
I had to be different. It's your kid, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you got a couple years before she'll be a toddler. She's not even here yet.
True.
That's coming up soon, though.
Just show up in full Swan costume, and she's just like, man, he really is a bird.
We'll pull a Friends, and it will be the what did Ross dress up as? The armadillo, the Hanukkah armadillo, or something like that. I don't know. You'll be the Christmas Swan.
Sweet.
So we just poured up the 46 Cask Strength, which I'm really excited for us to actually review. I've got it still compared to the regular Cask Strength. I believe the non-46 is 110 proof. Is that what it is? It's sitting in front of you there. Is it not? No, not the 46. The regular Maker's Cask Strength.
Oh, there's so many makers. There's so much red wax. All right, so the regular is 110.9, and the Maker's 46 Cask is 109.6.
Right, and these vary. This is not what all of them are going to be.
Yes.
But in this case, we have 109.6 for the 46 Cask Strength.
I got the 46, the Cask, and the Maker's 46 Cask all together.
Nice.
Ooh, okay. Already like the Cask Strength better. This one's got a little coffee on the nose, but the Cask Strength, it's got coffee and pain. No, it's definitely not subdued. It's like you get the proof points.
I get some like oatmeal cookies on the nose.
I can see that.
It's really cinnamon heavy, I think.
Yeah, it's like cinnamon apple oatmeal. There's some fruit notes in there. but it's like lighter fruit. It's
I was
not-
going to say, I think I might actually upgrade that to oatmeal raisin.
I can see that.
Yeah. With cinnamon in there?
Wait, I mean, you can put cinnamon
Brown
on
sugar?
everything, man. I put it in my salsa. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
It's cumin. It's kind of the same
You
thing.
threw me for a loop there for a second.
All right, I'm going to taste it.
I'm just going to hang out in the nose. I want to watch your reaction to it, too.
I'm going to need to go in for a second sip before I make any judgment on it.
Ooh. I like it. I've had it a couple times. I wanted to let this bottle open up before we actually reviewed it on the show. So I had a few nights in a row. Two or three. I think it's really quite good. It's by no means my favorite release of the year. And really, it's not my favorite Maker's release either.
No.
I still think RC6 is way better than this.
I think RC6 and a lot of the private selects I've had
Yeah.
have been way better.
But I still think that this is a really good bourbon.
I'm going to disagree. I think it's fine.
It's been a while since we've had a pretty heavy disagreement.
I think it's fine. I think the regular cask strength is much better. It has more to offer. There's less heat, even at a higher proof.
Yeah.
This one, you can't chew. The first one, I just sipped it like normal. The second one, it literally sits on your tongue and just is pure ethanol on your tongue. And I mean, my palate's acclimated. I just literally went down a proof point.
Woo. Woo. Yeah, you chew it and it does get hot.
Yeah. The only redeeming factor is it's very much cinnamon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even a spice of like, it's like Red Hot spice.
I was gonna
it's
say
not
that-
ethanol
Yeah.
heat.
That's what I was getting from the after chewing it. It turned into like a red hot.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't think it's nearly as well-rounded as the regular cask strength release. I know there was a bunch of clamoring for it, but there's been plenty of releases I've had from makers that are much better from this. And every Larceny barrel proof I've had has been significantly better.
Wow. That's a big statement considering how much we didn't care for the first.
Still like it better.
Wow.
This is not for me. I'm glad I got to try it though, because it's weird too. I actually dislike it for different reasons than the regular Maker's 46. The Maker's 46, the original for me, has got that coffee note. This is like devoid of coffee. I'm not getting it anywhere on the palate.
I just tried the regular cask strength next to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might like them about equal. I didn't do the big chew with the cask strength, the regular cask strength that I did with the 46. But even still, I think I like them about the same, honestly.
No, it's like heavy-handed regular cask strength for me. I don't know, but that's the thing. I don't have to like every bourbon.
Yeah, of course
But
not.
if somebody's got a palate that aligns with mine, that listens to the show, where they're not a big fan of coffee or tea or that kind of thing, this is not for you. This is not for you. And I've had plenty of picks where I've actually really enjoyed it. I mean, how high did I put up the Keeneland pick on last year's?
Oh, way up there.
Yeah.
Way up there.
I mean, that thing was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I've been nursing a half bottle of it for like a year and a half now. I mean, I don't know. This one's just not for me. I'm gonna give it a very crude score for
I
what
think
it
that's
is. But I'm glad that you like it because it's your bottle.
That is true. I do like it. I'm just not over the moon about it. Like I said, I think it's about as good as the regular cask strength is. I think they're very similar in quality to me. And, having them back to back too really kind of cemented that feeling for me as well.
Yeah.
I am okay with this being a limited release.
That is funny.
What are you...
They put some tasting notes in the back. Amplified notes of caramel, stone fruit, and baking spices. A texture warmly radiating outward. And satisfying edge of tongue finish with hints of pipe tobacco and cinnamon. I'll give them this. Their tasting notes are on. They are there. But the part that they described where it said edge of tongue finish, they put satisfying in front of it. To me, it's not. That's where I'm leaving off. It is hot, man. And I like to chew my bourbon quite a bit. And I can even chew like 130 proof Bookers.
Yeah.
But this one's just, it's rough.
It does read really hot.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you that for sure. Oh, I don't know if I'm ready to hear what your score is on this one. I mean, I am. I think I'm just more curious than anything.
All right.
Well, we have a scoring system on the show of nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5. And then we give you a final score out of 20. Swan on the nose. I think I'm going to give it a 2.5. I think the nose is one of the lower points on this one, personally.
It is so hard to figure out where your nose needs to be in the glass. You've got like just the smallest tolerance before it becomes too hot.
It's so funny. This nose bounces between being almost savory and meaty and being really sugary sweet.
Yeah. It's like a maple glaze ham. Like it's got some savory, but it's got some sweet.
It is kind of porky.
Yeah.
Which is a note I never thought I would give on a bourbon.
I think the nose is my favorite part.
Really?
Yeah, I'll actually give the nose a 3.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with a 2.5 on this one.
See, I like it better this time because I didn't chew on it. But man, that finish is harsh.
It's pretty intense. I think I'm going to give the palate a 3.25.
Palate, I'm going to give a 2.
Wow. The finish is my least favorite part.
Yeah.
By far. I'm giving that a 2.
Finish for me is a 1.5.
Woo-wee. Swan's going in hard.
Yeah, this is not for me, man. This is not for me. Now, price.
This is going to be what kills it for you.
Actually, that's the thing. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt on the price. So
really?
the first 3, this is fully my opinion. Price-wise, you got to look at it. So it's a finished bourbon. It's cask strength. It's from Maker's Mark, one of the biggest brands. And it's something that they are really, it's like fan service. You know, I mean, people have been asking for this ever since they did the 3-pack that they put out last year.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
I can't dislike that. I can't dislike that, even if I'm not a fan of what's inside the bottle.
Yeah, and it is $60.
Yeah, and the packaging is beautiful.
It's
they put this
really
like
great
wonderful
package.
big box that's like a open pane box looking thing.
Yeah, it's a nice display piece.
Yeah,
too, especially if you're going to collect this, and you know, we don't advocate for letting bottles sit on your shelf without opening them, but I mean that's a that would look really nice just hanging out on the shelf.
Yeah,
with your collection.
Yeah. I'm actually going to give the price a 3.75.
I was going to give it a 4.
Yeah.
So I'm not upset with that by any means. My final score is an 11.75.
I did a 0.75, so I'm going to have to do math. It's intense. All right, fine.
I just you know, like I said, I don't think it's out of this world amazing. I do enjoy drinking it. But there are other things I think I would rather pick up at this price point, and even less. I hate to keep coming back to it. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof I would rather have a bottle of. Rare Breed, which is actually sitting next to the 46, I would rather buy a bottle of at a much lower price point and much more widely available. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I just can't fully get on board with it, but at the same time, I'm happy I have a bottle.
Yeah. This one's a 10.25 for me.
Yeah. So we weren't really that far off from each other.
No. No. But the price is what's holding mine up, though.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, so if we take the price away from both of us, I mean, I gave it a 7.75.
I gave it a 6.5.
See, that's still not that far off.
Okay, true, but a lot of this is me understanding that this is like not my flavor profile.
And yeah,
I would never buy a bottle of this for myself.
And that's where the objectivity comes in. Subjectivity? I can't remember which one it is.
It's one of those
Yeah.
words.
Somebody will let us know on Twitter, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I think it's subjectivity.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it is. I was an English major for a while. Anyway.
It's subjective, yeah.
It is subjective, yes. So that's where the subjectivity comes in. Where, yes, it is, not necessarily great according to your palate. I mean, like, I'll give you a really good example of this. I say really good. I mean, it's kind of comparing apples to oranges. But Fred Minnick gave the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel a not recommend. He didn't like it. He thought it was way too hot. Didn't have enough depth to it.
And we loved it.
And we loved it. But I just think that's just indicative of how we differ in our palates, and everybody's going to be different with their palates.
Yeah, and that's
sure.
why there's so many people that make content in the whiskey world, because eventually you're going to find somebody that's had 3 or 4 bourbons that you've had, and you're like, hey, I thought the same thing about that. Or, and you'll realize you're kind of on the same vein. So you find that person that you relate to the most, and every time they try something, you're like, I don't know if I want to spend the money on that. If they like it, you're immediately like, oh, well, Rex from, the Whiskey Vault liked it, and that's who I align with the most, so I'm going to go pick it up. It's fine. Not everybody's going to like everything.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny, like, over the course of doing this show, there's like a big period of time where you and I will kind of coalesce on what we like. Mm-hmm. And then we'll get a bottle like this where we just kind of
opposite
go
directions.
off.
Yeah, and mine is always related around coffee and tea.
Yeah.
I'm just gone. I can't do it.
Could you pass me some of that rare breed, though?
Absolutely.
Do you want some?
No, I'm good.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You've got to be places. You've got to do things.
Been doing some baby pours all night so I can make it home.
Well, that's okay. But I think this was an insightful review, at the very least.
Yeah, I think it's one of our more relatable ones. You got somebody on both sides of it, and look at things that you enjoy and things you don't, and decide whether or not that's a release for you.
And again, to be fair, I mean, it's not like I gave it a glowing review. I just liked it slightly better than you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think this is just kind of a it is what it is product. I kind of feel like I might just reach for the regular 46 a little bit more.
I'm just going to probably not reach for Makers.
Not drink either of them.
Yeah, no. I mean, for the same price, I can go get a Russell's Pick or some Knob Creek.
Got a fly in my glass.
Yeah. I've not had a single 9-year pick from anywhere that's been better, that's been, not in the same caliber or better than the Maker's 46 cast strength.
I think I just de-legged this fly.
Oh, well, I mean, it's just extra protein at this point. Just, go ahead.
Well, my fingers just have bourbon on them. I don't want to... Never mind.
Finish your thought.
No, I'm not going to do that. Well, I think that does it for the review on this week's episode. How about tips and bits?
Tips and bits.
Do you have anything to recommend to people? By the way, new listeners, this is our segment where we recommend things. It's not always bourbon related. Sometimes it is. But very rarely it is, actually.
Yeah. I've been, kind of watching this new show called Lucifer.
That's not a new show.
No. New to me.
New to you.
New to me, yeah. And so, Diane puts it on, and then I'll catch myself like, oh, I just watched an episode and a half. Whoops. And just having issues with continuity because I'm just like, oh, she watched 4 episodes while I was gone.
Yeah.
What's going on right now? But every time I sit down and watch it, it's actually pretty good.
That's how I was with Gilmore Girls. I love Gilmore Girls. I really enjoy the heck out of that show. Yeah. I think it's just so charming and enjoyable. And, I would watch a few episodes in a row with Lucy and then, go and do something else. And she'd burn through an entire season. And then I'd come back and be like, same thing. What is going on right now?
Yeah. I have no idea what's going on, but
she broke up with Dean.
It's always interesting. It's weird, too, with those sitcoms because, there's like 6 people, and at some point there's going to be a shift from one of them dating one to the other, and it's just like, yeah, if you miss that shift, you come in, you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Are they cool with this?
Is this an open relationship kind of thing?
I did that with How I Met Your Mother. I was just like,
fair enough.
She was dating Ted. She's dating Barney. What's going on here?
Fair enough.
And Marshall's driving a Fiero. What is...
I thought that car was dead in season 2.
Yeah.
I hate to kind of turn the tables in a sad way, but anything Chadwick Boseman did.
Dude.
Okay, so the lead actor of the Black Panther movie, Chadwick Boseman, which of course is a superhero film, but he is was because he did unfortunately pass away this weekend at the age of 43 from colon cancer. He was an unbelievable actor, an even better human being, I think, and just any of the work that he did as an actor, and especially over the past 4 years, which is how long he had been battling colon cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And not only did he do all these movies and go to all these press junkets, he was visiting kids in hospitals with cancer while he also had cancer.
Yeah.
And was fighting it. It just blows my mind, man. It just absolutely... And, like, I don't normally get too in the feels with celebrity deaths.
Mm-hmm.
This one crushed me.
Yeah, he's a really good example of you don't need to know somebody's backstory to be nice to them.
Yeah.
Because he could have easily played that card. It's like, well, I've got cancer. I'm doing my best. I've lost a lot of weight. You know, I'm just doing what I can. He went every single day holding that in, knowing that, like, I'm going to do my best every day, and I don't care if I've got to work out for 6 hours a day just to make this Marvel movie happen. I'm going to do it. And he did, man. He did. He did a fantastic job with it.
He really did it to the nth degree as well. I mean, everything that he put to screen, put to tape, whatever, it was his best.
He did the whole Jackie Robinson movie, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
It's, you know, it's hard not to go, why must the good die young? But, man, taken way too soon. Way, way too soon. And I'm going to be spending a lot of time, I think, here soon, just deep diving into his filmography. And just watching as many movies of his as I can, and you know, it's one of those where it kind of comes in waves.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first hit was like disbelief, like I couldn't believe that he had passed.
Yeah, it seemed like one of those things where you're like, oh, so and so passed away. And you're like, that's not real.
Come on, TMZ.
Get it together, TMZ. Just because you haven't seen him in 4 days outside of his house doesn't mean he's doing anything. You're allowed to sleep in.
Exactly. But and like then it was confirmed, and there was that, you know, quick kind of grieving period, and then you know, you accept. But then like seeing the response from everybody and seeing people tell their stories about him and about the impact that they had on his kid, or that he had on their kids, like the kids who, you know, dressed up as Black Panther, and that was all they would wear for months.
Yeah.
Absolutely broke my heart. Mm-hmm. That this icon, and it's more than just this character, to me too. It's so much more than fiction. It's about somebody who truly believes in what they're doing so much that they want to bring that goodness into the world as well.
Yeah.
And he again did that to the nth degree. I think that he just embodied everything that character was supposed to be. And, you know, speculating about what's going to happen with Black Panther in the future, that's for a different time.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, it sucks. It really, really sucks. And it's going to be hard watching him on film for a while. But he left behind a heck of a legacy.
He did. At a young age, too.
At a very young age. So we of course, feel for the family and send thoughts, prayers, good vibes, all that stuff to them. Because it can't be easy right now.
No.
So a sad note to end on. I apologize for that. But it was something I had to touch on as a comic book nerd and comic book movie fan and all that stuff. So go watch Black Panther. Go watch 42. Go watch Get On Up. Anything that he was in. Chadwick Boseman. Well, Swan, I think that is about it for this week's episode. Thank you all so much for listening. If people want to follow up with us on social media, though, where could they do that?
I'm at My Bourbon Finder on Instagram and Facebook.
And I am at PRitter1492 on all social media platforms. And the show itself is at My Bourbon Pod on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can leave us a 5-star rating and review on the iTunes podcast app. And if you do that, we'll actually read it out here on the show. And we are going to do just that this week. I love seeing new reviews. They just always bring a smile to my face and just kind of, give me a little bit of excitement for the the rest of the day. Something to keep me going. This one is from E. Bogey. 5 stars. Have a pour with Perry. They say, I look forward to listening to this podcast every week. Perry and Swan have a great knowledge of bourbon, and I learn something new almost every show. If you like bourbon, you'll love this podcast.
Nice.
So thank you so much, E-Bogey. We appreciate everybody who not only listens to the show, but rates and reviews. Maybe I said that opposite. I think I said it opposite. But we do appreciate everybody.
Yeah.
You guys are great. If you want to find all of our apparel and merchandise, you can head to bourbonshop.threadless.com. That's where a giant troll puts all of our merchandise out.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like when they step, I think. Clom. Whatever. Bourbonshop.threadless.com. That also includes masks to help protect you and your loved ones from the coronavirus, of course. You can get a nice mask with the logo from the podcast or some of our other designs that are up there. New stuff coming from there all the time. You can become a part of our Facebook group at facebook.com. You just search for This Is My Bourbon Group, and we'll get you in there. You can leave us a voicemail for our barrel ring segment at 859-428-8253. Listen to it here on the show. Respond to it accordingly, of course. I think it's always a good time when we hear from people. You can also send us an email at thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. Did I say that already? I don't think I did.
Nope.
No, I don't think I did either. I run through so many things, Swan. I don't know I need some help. There's nothing else. There's one last thing. Patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast.
Oh, yeah, do that one.
Is where you
get extra stuff.
Yeah, please. You can become a supporter of the show. You get, at the $5 tier, the pregame chats, which come out the Tuesday before every single episode, as well as the last call, which is just a really fun time, at least for me. I have so much fun with those episodes. It's basically 2 bonus episodes a week, and it's good stuff. We do hangouts as well, some live streams just for Patreon, all sorts of good stuff. One more time, patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month to keep the show going. Oh my goodness, Swan. I think that does it for this week's episode. Next week, the return of one of my favorite guests on the show.
Who's that?
Dixon Dedman.
Yes. Heck yes.
I am so excited to go and chat with Dixon. I am actually doing that this Wednesday. So, it's always a great time. Those are always some of my favorite episodes and conversations.
You going to blend him some Armagnac?
Oh, yes. Yes. Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, yes.
I can't not do that.
Honestly, blend it before you do it, and then just and then just here, try the sample of this bourbon.
Oh, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that for sure. Nobody tell Dixon. Shh. No snitching. No snitching.
Yeah.
Anyway, we will see you all next week. But until then, I'm Perry,
and I'm Swan,
and this is My Bourbon Podcast.